The question didn't arrive with drama, but as a persistent ache in the quiet of my apartment. Surrounded by the hum of daily life, I felt adrift, watching others move with purpose while I remained still. My routines, work, entertainment, shopping, felt empty, like a beautifully wrapped box with nothing inside. Why am I here? The question lingered, quietly demanding an answer. I tried to fill the void with distractions, longer hours, new purchases, endless scrolling, binge-watching. But the emptiness always returned, louder than before. The world says purpose is found in achievement, possessions, or admiration. But what if you reach those and still feel empty? I realized I was searching for meaning in all the wrong places. My problem wasn't my circumstances, it was my perspective. I was looking for a map, but I didn't even know my destination. It was an ordinary afternoon, the kind that blurs into the next, when my phone buzzed with a message. I glanced down, expecting another routine notification, but instead, I saw David's name, a name I hadn't thought about in years. He was someone from my past, more of a familiar face than a close friend, but his message felt different. Hey, a few of us are getting together at my church to talk about life's big questions. You came to mind. The words were simple, but they carried a weight I couldn't quite explain. My instinct was to decline. Church wasn't my world. I'd always felt out of place in those settings, unsure of what to say or how to act. The idea of joining a group to talk about life's big questions felt intimidating, almost foreign, but the invitation stuck with me. I kept rereading it, wondering why David had reached out to me of all people. Was it just a random thought, or did he see something in me that I couldn't see in myself? Someone had thought of me. In a world where I often felt invisible, that small gesture meant more than I cared to admit. It was as if, for a moment, I mattered to someone else. I'd tried everything else to fill the void. Late-night movies, endless scrolling, even picking up new hobbies. But nothing seemed to stick. The emptiness lingered no matter how much I tried to distract myself. What did I have to lose? The thought echoed in my mind. Maybe stepping out of my comfort zone was exactly what I needed, even if it scared me. With hesitation I replied, my fingers hovering over the keyboard, heart pounding. Thanks, David. I think I'll come. Hitting send felt like crossing an invisible line. Fear and relief washed over me in equal measure. I was nervous about what I'd find, but also strangely hopeful. Maybe this was the change I'd been waiting for. For the first time in a while, I was taking a step, however small, toward something new. The act of saying yes felt like opening a door I'd kept closed for too long. That decision didn't erase my doubts, but it sparked hope. I realized that sometimes hope doesn't come in grand gestures, but in quiet moments of courage. Maybe the answers I needed were in places I'd never considered. Maybe the comfort I was searching for was waiting just beyond my fears. The questions remained, but now there was a glimmer of possibility. I didn't know what I'd discover, but I was willing to find out. David's invitation wasn't just to a meeting, it was to a new beginning. It was a chance to connect, to be seen, and maybe to find a sense of belonging I'd been missing. Sometimes change starts with a single, unexpected message. A simple act of reaching out can open doors we never knew existed. I didn't know what I'd find, but I was finally moving. The first step was the hardest, but it was also the most important. And that was enough to start. Sometimes all it takes is a little courage to answer when opportunity knocks. Walking into the church group felt foreign, like stepping into an unknown world. I was filled with apprehension and uncertainty, unsure of what to expect or how I would be received. But to my surprise, I was met with warmth, not judgment. The people there greeted me with genuine smiles and open arms, making me feel like I belonged. No one interrogated me about my beliefs. They were just glad I was there. It was a refreshing change from the skepticism and scrutiny I had anticipated. The meeting was a conversation, not a lecture. We sat in a circle, sharing our thoughts and experiences, listening to one another with respect and empathy. The pastor spoke of God as a loving father, not a distant judge. His words were filled with compassion and understanding, painting a picture of a God who cares deeply for each of us. "You are not an accident, you were made by God and for God," he said. These words resonated deeply within me, challenging my previous notions of existence and purpose. That idea was staggering and comforting. It suggested that my life had intrinsic value and meaning, beyond what I could see or understand. Maybe my purpose wasn't something to invent, but to discover. This thought opened up a new realm of possibilities, inviting me to explore rather than create. The focus shifted from self-fulfillment to knowing God and loving others. It was a call to look beyond myself and see the needs and beauty in those around me. True fulfillment, he said, comes from self-giving, not self-gratification. This was a radical departure from the messages of self-centered success I had always heard. I left with new questions, but also a spark of hope. The experience had planted a seed of curiosity and a desire to learn more. What if my life really did have a purpose designed by God? This question lingered in my mind, challenging me to rethink everything I thought I knew. That night, I sat in the quiet, letting the idea sink in. The possibility of a divinely orchestrated purpose was both daunting and exhilarating. For the first time, I felt I might be heading somewhere. The journey ahead was uncertain, but it was filled with promise and potential. Inspired, I tried the pastor's advice. Start each day with a simple prayer. God, show me how to live for you today. It felt awkward, but it shifted my focus outward. At work, I began to see colleagues as people with stories, not just co-workers. I listened more, offered help, and practiced small acts of kindness. These weren't grand gestures, but they changed the atmosphere, and me. Serving others shrank my anxieties and insecurities. The paradox: the more I gave, the more fulfilled I felt. Purpose wasn't a burden, it was freedom from self-obsession. Living with purpose wasn't about perfection, but direction. When I slipped, I could pause, reset, and try again. These daily choices were carving a new path in my life. The emptiness was slowly being filled, not with noise, but with quiet, steady joy. Purpose was becoming a daily practice. My new purpose was tested on a stressful workday. Deadlines, setbacks, and rising frustration. My instinct was to snap, complain, and retreat into stress, but I remembered my morning prayer. God, help me see people the way you do. I paused, took a breath, and chose patience over anger. Instead of sending a sharp email, I invited my team to regroup and find a solution together. The tension eased. We faced the problem as a team. The day was still hard, but the feeling was different. I went home exhausted, but not defeated. I'd passed a personal test, choosing purpose over old habits. My purpose wasn't just for easy days, it was a lifeline in the storm. Each challenge became a chance to grow. The changes inside me were real. Purpose was proving itself in the hardest moments. Purpose led me to connection, not isolation. I'd built walls to protect myself, but they only made me lonelier. Now I practice kindness as a way of life, holding doors, listening, reaching out. Small acts became bricks and bridges to others. The hardest part was being kind to difficult people. My neighbor, always complaining, became my challenge. I listened to him, and for the first time, he felt heard. Kindness, I learned, is a boomerang. The more you give, the more comes back. Building bridges reawakened my empathy and compassion. I began to see the image of God in everyone. My life grew richer. Not by what I got, but by what I gave. The walls I'd built became bridges to freedom. The church group became my community, a place to be honest, supported, and celebrated. We shared struggles and victories, learning that purpose isn't meant to be lived alone. God designed us for fellowship and family. The relationships brought the teachings to life. Grace became real. I was accepted as I was, not for what I'd done. This experience made me want to extend grace to others. Belonging replaced loneliness. Laughter replaced emptiness. My purpose included loving and serving this new family. We were all helping each other become who we were meant to be. In finding my tribe, I found a deeper sense of self. Looking back, the emptiness is gone, replaced by quiet confidence in God's purpose for me. The transformation was slow, built on daily steps and community support. The question, "Why am I here?" no longer haunts me. I am here to know God and make Him known by loving others. Life isn't perfect, but now I have a compass. Purpose anchors me through storms and infuses every part of my life with meaning. The greatest change is in my heart, peace instead of anxiety, celebration instead of jealousy, belonging instead of loneliness. True happiness comes from giving yourself away for a greater cause. My value isn't in achievements, but in being a child of God. This journey began with a simple invitation and grew through grace. The view ahead is filled with new opportunities to love, serve, and grow. Maybe my story resonates with you, the ache for meaning, the sense there must be more. Perhaps you felt it too, that quiet longing in the stillness of the night, or the persistent question that lingers in your heart as you go about your day. It's a feeling that can be hard to put into words, but it's real, and it matters. You might wonder if anyone else feels this way, if anyone else is searching for something deeper, something lasting. You are not alone, and your questions matter. Across the world, countless others are on this same journey, wrestling with the same doubts and hopes. It's okay to ask, to wonder, to seek. In fact, it's the first step toward discovering something beautiful. Your life is not an accident. You were created for a purpose. Every breath you take, every moment you experience is woven into a story that is uniquely yours. There is a reason you are here, even if you can't see it yet. The world needs your gifts, your voice, your heart. Even when you feel small or insignificant, remember that your existence is intentional. You are part of a bigger picture, a grand design that is unfolding one day at a time. You don't need all the answers, just the willingness to take a step. Purpose isn't always revealed in a single moment. Sometimes it's discovered as you move forward, one decision at a time. Trust that each step, no matter how small, is leading you somewhere meaningful. Start with a simple prayer. God, if you're real, show me my purpose. You don't have to have perfect words or a rehearsed speech, just an open heart, a willingness to reach out, and a desire to know more. God cares more about your sincerity than your eloquence. It's not about saying the right thing, but about being honest and vulnerable. When you reach out with genuine curiosity, you open the door to transformation. Your journey can begin with one small act of faith. Sometimes it's as simple as choosing hope over despair or taking a risk to believe that your life can change. Every great adventure starts with a single step. Seek out a community. Don't walk this path alone. Find people who will encourage you, challenge you, and walk beside you. Together, you can share your struggles and celebrate your victories. Practice kindness. Look for ways to bless others. Sometimes purpose is found in the simple act of serving, in the quiet moments when you choose to make someone else's day a little brighter. As you pour into others, your own life will overflow. The more you give, the more you discover about yourself and the world around you. Generosity and compassion are seeds that grow into a life of meaning. The journey to purpose is the greatest adventure you'll ever take. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Along the way, you'll find new strength, new hope, and a deeper sense of who you are. The invitation is yours now. Step out in faith and discover the purpose waiting for you. Don't let fear or uncertainty hold you back. The first step is yours to take. The world is waiting for you to become who you were made to be. Your story is just beginning, and the possibilities are endless. Embrace the journey and let your purpose unfold.